That was Ace, Ksoo's right-hand man from the jump, the one who swore loyalty, the one who said he'd ride till the wheels fall off. But right now, that bond don't look unbreakable anymore. Ksoo just went live on IG putting Ace on blast for not holding him down while he's stuck behind the bars. And trust me, that was just the first shot fired. This whole thing runs deeper than just a brotherhood. It's a story of loyalty turning into betrayal. And in Jacksonville, that's deadly. Out here, loyalty ain't no fancy caption for likes. It's survival. One wrong move, and it could cost you your life. For years, Ace and Ksoo were locked in tight, harder than concrete. From ducking the same bullets to chasing the same dreams, these two weren't just friends. They were family in the trenches. They split the same meals, stacked the same bread, and carried the same scars. But even the strongest foundations can crumble. And when they do, that betrayal cuts deeper than anything an enemy could ever do. Tell me about Ksoo because I don't know too much about him other than the internet. Ksoo, man, that's my brother for real, man. That he been with me. He been with me every step of the way. He one of the ones who been with me every step of the way. He was at the demo. This wasn't no fake brotherhood built on photo ops or corny handshakes for the cameras. Nah, this was real hood love. Young Ace, born Keanta Tyrone Bullard, and Hakey Robinson, known in the streets as Ksoo, weren't just rappers chasing a come-up. They were survivors. Two kids from Jacksonville's deadliest corners. Where making it to 25 feels like winning the lottery, and where loyalty is the only currency that actually means something. When Ace spoke on Ksoo, you could hear it in his tone. That wasn't no cap for clout. That was raw, unfiltered love. This was deeper than rap, deeper than fame. It was real street brotherhood. Back in 2019, Ace hit social media with a post straight from the heart. I love Ksoo like my mama made him. I die for him. I promise. That's not just talk. That's the kind of loyalty that'll make a man risk it all when the streets test him. And Ace did exactly that. Word on the block is he threw over $1 million into Ksoo's legal fight. A whole million. That's life-changing money. The type that builds houses and feeds families for generations. But Ace wasn't worried about investments or security. His mind was locked on one thing, keeping his brother from rotting in a cell. This wasn't no half-step either. Ace literally drained himself dry, going broke just to keep Ksoo's defense alive on his 2025 track. I'm sorry. Ace even admitted the financial hit, spitting about his bank account running low while a baby was on the way. That's when you know it's real. When a man's willing to gamble his own family's future just to give his brother a shot at freedom. But here's the cruel twist, and it's straight-up hood irony. The very music that was meant to honor their bond ended up stabbing Ksoo in the back. Ace's 2018 hit, So Homicide. I mean, you know, spoiler, both guys are found guilty. Ksoo and ATK Scotty. Obviously the father took his plea, and there's a related case having to do with Ksoo's other brother, Abdul Jr., which is not being tried at this time, but pretty much they're going down. A track built to put shine and respect on Ksoo's name got flipped by prosecutors in court, used as proof of motive. Imagine that. Your brother drops a fire track, hyping you up, putting your name on the map, only for the same bars to be twisted into evidence to bury you deeper behind bars. But then the feds flipped the script, using those very same bars to paint Ksoo as a straight-up cold-blooded killer. Prosecutors argued Ace's lyrics weren't just rhymes. They were blueprints, proof of premeditation and calls for violence. Driver, you could imagine he's like, well, I ain't shoot nobody, man. That shot them. I'm telling. See, you know where they went? No, sir. That's wild. Your own music meant to celebrate loyalty now turned into a weapon against your brother. Some people even started saying Ace was dry snitching without even realizing it, handing the prosecution the ammo they needed to bury Ksoo for life. Think about that. You drop a track to show love to your day one, and the next thing you know, the system is using it to tear him apart. The whispers on the block grew louder. This jury reached a lift. Can you please hand the verdict form over to the family? Maybe Ace wasn't as solid as everybody believed. Maybe the bond was cracking right there in the courtroom. And the trial, man, it was hood drama at its absolute worst. Prosecutors pulled out everything. Dash cam footage, fingerprints on the murder weapon, and social media posts that read like straight-up confessions. But the knockout blow wasn't the evidence. It was the betrayals that came from inside Ksoo's own circle. The unthinkable happened when his own father, Abdul Robinson Sr., took the stand. Pops pointed his finger at his son and laid it all out for the court. The kind of testimony that could lock him away forever. That's not just betrayal. That's the ultimate violation. When your own blood flips on you in front of the system. And it didn't stop there. Dominique Buddha Barner. Damn, you see that? That right there is like I blew it. I blew it. I'm convicted of murder. Yungeen blew it. That head shake right there is like, yo, I don't know how old is he. I think he might be like 25. My life is done. Who was supposed to be solid folded under pressure and spilled everything. He walked the court through the whole play from the planning stages to the getaway. That like he was narrating a true crime documentary. Who did what? When it went down, and even why. The courtroom looked like a family reunion straight out of a nightmare. Everybody who was supposed to be solid started pointing fingers at each other, snitching left and right. The same crew that was once unbreakable was now breaking down in front of the whole city. Meanwhile, Ace sat on the sidelines, forced to watch after dropping a fortune on lawyers who couldn't change a thing. All that loyalty, all that love, and all that money gone in vain. The jury didn't even waste time. After just 3.5 hours, they came back with the hammer. Guilty. Faces in the courtroom froze in disbelief. And just like that, Ksoo was staring down a life sentence at only 25. His whole future wiped out before it even had a chance to start. But here's where things turned real messy. Instead of owning up to anything, Ksoo started shifting blame, posting online about all white juries and judges, trying to frame it like the whole system was stacked against him. But the streets weren't buying it. Because the truth was even uglier. His downfall came from inside his own circle. His pops, his homies, his crew. They were the ones who testified and sealed his fate. And when the dust settled, that's when the real questions started flying. Rumors spread that Ksoo felt abandoned, left hanging by the people he thought would ride for him forever. Do you all have to wait a long time for Charles McCormick to come out of his apartment that morning? Yes, sir. You remember about how long they were waiting? Was it hours? It was hours. Damn, they wanted that dead that bad. Yeah, Ace dropped $1 million. No one could deny that. But some started asking, was that enough? Could a real brother have done more? Should Ace have raised more noise, fought harder in the streets, or applied more pressure instead of just writing checks? Now, Ksoo sits in that cell, probably replaying it all, thinking less about the $1 million and more about whether his so-called brother really went to war for him. The hood was watching close. Social media lit up, and everybody had something to say about Ace's so-called loyalty. How did y'all feel when Ksoo got charged for the murder? That's the free bro. We don't wish jail on nobody on show cause we know how the Jacksonville system lives, bro. Like you over K, 12 years for a gun. The whispers turned into heated debates. And the debates turned into all-out arguments online and in the streets. And soon those arguments were about to blow up into a confrontation that would shake the entire hip-hop world. Years of brotherhood were about to be tested by one brutal question. When your homie is drowning, is tossing cash enough? Or do you jump in the water and risk sinking, too? Out here in Jacksonville, the rules are different. Your name ain't built on Instagram followers or streams. It's built on how you move when shots ring out and how you handle it when respect is on the line. And Ksoo, he didn't get that name by accident. Hakey Robinson earned it brick by brick, move by move, carving out a rep that had his name whispered like a ghost story. What started as protecting his family's honor twisted into something darker, a path soaked in blood. They say every trigger pull wasn't just another body. It was Ksoo stepping deeper into a world where violence stopped being defense and started being second nature. Murder became muscle memory, and the streets started treating him less like a rapper and more like a boogeyman. Ksoo's transformation from a troubled kid into a stone-cold shooter didn't happen overnight. But once that switch flipped, there was no return. The streets locked their grip on him early, and by the time he was old enough to buy a drink legally, his name was already being linked to more bodies than most cats see in a whole lifetime. This wasn't no random spray of bullets. Every move Ksoo made was calculated, like he was playing the deadliest chess game Jacksonville had ever seen. And the spark that lit the whole war, it was personal. Real personal. On January 16th, 2019, Ksoo's stepbrother, Willie Boss Goon Addison, got gunned down outside a nightclub. Multiple shots ripping through his back and torso in what looked like a cold-blooded execution. That wasn't just another street body. That was family. And in neighborhoods like this, when family blood spills, the code demands revenge. That wasn't something you let slide. Touching Boss Goon meant you declared war on Ksoo's entire bloodline. What happened after Heike jumped out of the Nissan? Shot at him. Shot at who? Did McCormick stay there? No. What'd he do? Ran. What did Heike Robinson do? Chased him. And then did what? Killed him. Everybody in the hood waited to see if Ksoo would answer back, and trust he wasted no time. Weeks later, the retaliation hit. On February 23, 2019, 16-year-old Adrian B.B.Y. Gaynor Jr. lost his life at the Hilltop Village Apartments. Prosecutors claimed this wasn't no accident,